Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. It is Georgia week. That's it. That's the lead in. That's the pitch. That's it. It is Georgia freaking week. Let's go.
The songs how like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken paths sit undated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
You look at Georgia this week, I think it's one of the better teams that I've seen in college football over the last couple of years. I think these guys have a lot of team speed. They're big. They're physical at the line of scrimmage and out on the perimeter. They've got good running backs, good skill players, get the guys the ball, give you multiple looks on the defensive side, create a lot of negative plays. In special teams, because of their athleticism, they've got good returners, they've got good speed, and they're physical on the coverage team. So they don't have a weakness, and it'll be a tremendous challenge for us, but something that we're looking forward to.
No weaknesses. Perfect football team. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS, episode number 99. Hopefully Saturday we celebrate 100 with a victory. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Vols JP.
And I'm Dobber. What's happening?
We are glad you guys are here. We're going to take a look back at the Missouri game just a little bit. We're going to look ahead to Georgia, make some predictions, make some picks all across the SEC. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you do smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Courtney Holland was here early, says, what up, y'all? IC86 hanging out in the chat. Troy Lee Nugent is here. Cody Branch is here, as he is every single week. Kelly Goodwin also says, go Vols. We are glad you guys are here. Again, if you have not done so yet, make sure you do hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We go live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday immediately following the game. This coming Saturday, we'll be doing a tailgate show at 2:30. We'll go live about an hour before kickoff, hang out with you guys for about 45 minutes. If you guys want to do the call-in show, all that good stuff, we can do that. Just let us know, and we'll do it. Let's get into it. What do you guys think? Opening thoughts. How do you feel? Are you nervous? Do you still have that confidence?
I have been thinking about this Georgia game since about 3:30 last Saturday. I have. I've been excited. It's been a long 4 days since that game. We still got a couple of days to go. I am pumped. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing if this football team has taken the next step. That's what I'm looking forward to see. I want to see if they have closed any kind of ground on the elites of the SEC, and we'll find out Saturday. We will find out Saturday just where this football team is, and I got a little confidence. I'll just admit it.
Oh, goodness gracious. What about you, Dobber? You got confidence?
Oh, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I think that if the weather is sloppy, I think that favors us and our running game and the offensive line. But I like JP. I'm looking forward to seeing if this team can put together 4 quarters of football and 4 quarters of clean football. Eliminate mistakes, eliminate turnovers, eliminate penalties, because that's what they're going to have to do on the road against a team like Georgia.
You know, after the game last week, JP and I were texting bright and early Sunday morning. I know Dobber was, what were you still doing softball, but JP and I were texting, and I had this feeling, man, and I was even talking to the Indy kid this week about it, and I had this excitement. I feel like Tennessee played such a good football game last week. Seeing the way they played on the offensive line was encouraging, and you start thinking, man, this team's ready. This team is ready to take that next step. They're going to have every opportunity to do it at 3:30 on Saturday. And then I watched the Georgia-Auburn game. And I lost a lot of confidence after I watched the Georgia-Auburn game because, you know, a lot of people, and I even saw Alan V., the only Georgia fan that I like, in the chat earlier talking about Georgia not having a quarterback. I don't know that that's true because I thought Stetson Bennett looked good, not great. He's not Jake Fromm, but I thought he looked good against Auburn. I didn't watch their first game, but against Auburn, I thought he made some big time throws. I thought he had good pocket presence. He escaped pressure a couple of times, got rid of the football. I'm not saying, and maybe this is an insult, maybe they don't have a quarterback. I think all he has to do is play like Jarrett Garantano. Just manage the game, let that offensive and defensive line. They're a lot like Tennessee, really. You know, they're good on the offensive line. They probably have a way better defensive line, but they want to run the football. And I think Bennett just has to do enough. Disagree or agree, JP?
I mean, I agree with that, but I don't think that he's no all-world quarterback by no means. So
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I also don't think he's a walk-on. I mean, he was a walk-on, but he doesn't play like a walk-on.
Here's what I'll say. He's unproven. I mean, I understand that they had their way with Auburn, but I think Auburn's paper champs right now. I mean, they lost a ton on defense, an absolute ton, and trying to replace two All-Americans at defensive line like they did, their entire secondary. And I also read that Auburn had a lot of COVID issues, and whether or not it's true or not, but that they had a lot of practices that had been canceled or whatever this fall. Not sure if that's 100% true, but anyway, getting back to it, I'm not sold on Bennett. If I'm Tennessee, I am making Stetson Bennett the 4th or 5th or whatever his number is. I'm making him beat you Saturday, or at least that's what I am attempting to do. That's my game plan. Is I'm going to make Stetson Bennett prove that he can pass the ball and that he can make the plays. Now the question is even if we stack the box and if we have 8 in or even 9 in, perhaps, are we good enough? Is Tennessee good enough on the defensive side to even stop that? That's the question right there.
Well, you did get some good news this week with Pruitt saying Schamberger will be back. One of the things he was critical of after the Missouri game was the play on the back end in the secondary, as he would be, because that's his kind of area of expertise. So if he's going to nitpick about something, it's going to be that. But I think having Schamberger back, also Taylor was banged up, right?
No, it was Thompson. It was banged up last week.
Thompson was banged up, and I think he said he is 100% or back. Practiced all week. So you're going to have guys back. Really, this will be the first game where you've got everybody on your depth chart, your number ones where they should be playing. So that sets it up. We talked about going into this season how the schedule set up for Tennessee. We thought looking at Georgia's schedule coming off of Auburn, that was going to be a tough game for them. It really wasn't. And I think a lot of that was to do with, like you said, JP, Auburn isn't the Auburn of last year. So is that really a measuring stick? Can we look at who Tennessee's played to open up their first 2 games and really tell what we've got? No, but I mean, if you look at last year's first 2 games, was that really a measuring stick either?
I think we would be lunatics to sit here and pretend that Georgia's not one of the best football teams in the SEC. We know that. They got a new quarterback. They, whatever. It is what it is. They were dominant on both lines of scrimmage throughout that entire game against Auburn. So whether Auburn is where the polls thought they were or not, That's to be seen. But I think the bottom line is we know Georgia's there, and we're going to find out Saturday. That's what's so exciting, because this is why you come to Tennessee, right? That's the quote. This is why you come to Tennessee, for games like this on Saturday at 3:30 on CBS with the entire country watching. This football team has an opportunity to go and prove themselves. It doesn't matter what the polls say. It doesn't matter what Vegas says. It doesn't matter what anybody says. We're going to settle it on the field, and that's what it's everything we love about college football, and it's why I'm ready for Tennessee to take that next step on Saturday. Get a little fired up for a Wednesday evening.
for Wednesday evening, I know it. Yeah, I mean, just a tremendous opportunity ahead of them, and that's what I'm excited about, because as Tennessee fans, that's what we've talked, over the years, and certainly when we had the most recent coaching change with Pruitt, is the first step is to start beating the teams that you expect to beat. And, Tennessee's on an 8-game winning streak, and it is pretty much those teams that Tennessee has historically beaten and those type of programs that they've beaten. So the next step is, excuse me, the next step is can you improve and can you start competing with the upper echelon? And so far, going back to last year, Tennessee wasn't able to do that, because every game, I guess honestly, they played Bama better than they did any of the big three between Georgia and Florida. But Tennessee has to prove that, and that's what I'm excited about. And I feel like that, yes, last year we played Missouri in November, and I understand teams are different, all of that stuff, but we played Missouri last year. It was, it was a tight ball game. Tennessee won 24-20. And then you look at that game Saturday, and you just look at really how Tennessee dominated that football game, and how that they controlled the line of scrimmage. And you have to be encouraged that, another year in the system, another year with Pruitt, him being able to develop and coach these players up. That's what I'm excited about Saturday, is seeing, has Tennessee shrunk that gap? I mean, it may not end up being a win, but I'm going to be very disappointed if it's another 28-point loss to a rival like Georgia. I'm telling you. I mean, that's going to be disheartening and flattening as a fan base. This football team is going to have to show up Saturday and compete and make this a 4-quarter football game. And I'm sitting here on Wednesday night, and I really deep down inside feel like that's going to happen. I really do feel like it.
So when do we go from we want Tennessee to compete with Georgia, and people in the chat are saying run the ball, chew that clock, keep it close? When do we go from that to I'm ready to beat Georgia? I'm not ready to keep it close. I'm not ready, I'm done with moral victories, man. I'm done with it. I'm ready to go in there Saturday and truly compete. And by compete, I mean put it to them. I mean, let's go beat Georgia. We ride at 3:30, JP. Let's go. Where are you at, Dobber? Where are you at? Are you? And I know there are steps to this. I know it's a progression, and I know that's the next step. I'm ready to skip a step. I'm ready to play to win, not keep it close.
Oh, definitely. I'm kind of there, but this is a year where you can almost throw all that out the window. It's so weird. It's so wacky. It's an atypical season. So to come out and expect them to take that step, I think they will play a good game. I think they will play a competitive game. It's, can they sustain that for 4 quarters? That is what I'm looking for. A complete game. We've had some games where we've played some of those good teams well in the first half, or we've hung with them for a quarter, and then just kind of through some mistakes or penalties or things like that. That's where we couldn't hang with them. We couldn't overcome those miscues to move the ball down the field. We were settling for field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. You look at this team right now. We were 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 in the red zone.
I think
this
5 for
last week.
5. I think 5 for 5.
Yeah.
You know, that's
huge improvement from last year.
That's the things that I'm seeing from this team right now. All these small things that add up, and you have to do those over the course of an entire game to beat a team of the caliber of Georgia.
This is the perfect timing. I sent this man a message on Twitter, and I said, "Where you at, buddy? I got a surprise for you." So Hopkins lacrosse fan is here. He says, "What is going on? My man has come into the light." This is for you, brother. This is for you. Look, I may not know anything about lacrosse, but I know passion when I see it. And ever since you showed me that video where they featured you and you talked about your first game, seeing that team play, man, it just inspired me. We have so much in common, and I can't wait till we this COVID thing is gone and we can do a meet and greet and we can all hang out because it's going to be good times. But yeah, repping Hopkins lacrosse now just for this special Wednesday night show. But thanks for the super chat, my friend. I saw somebody in the chat earlier mentioning those freshman wide receivers. Do you think we're going to see any more playing time out of them? It is a road game. I don't know if that's going to factor into it at this point, but I think Hyatt has shown, some speed, some athleticism, and the way Keaton's playing.
That's what I was going to say. I think Keaton is playing his way out of playing time, especially if Hyatt continues to build upon. And I know he only caught 2 on Saturday, but they were great throws. But usually you have to have really good routes too. So with all that, all of that was perfect. So yes, I definitely think that you'll see Keaton, and I just wonder with Hyatt, and I just wonder how much Keaton playing time that he's going to end up getting if he keeps on dropping these footballs. He's going to end up riding the pine probably more than he is playing. And I think another player on offense that we'll see have more of an impact is Jones, Velvis Jones. I think they got something up their sleeve with him. I really do. I think they got something up their sleeve. And I'll go ahead and just throw this out there. I have a feeling, unless it's just an absolute downpour and just nasty, nasty weather, I have a feeling that we're going to see Eric Gray throw a pass on Saturday. I've just got that feeling.
Is that an inside scoop?
No, it's not. It's not. I just have a feeling that we're going to see a little trickery there.
I like what you said about Jones. I think with him, they're showing us a certain look, and they showed it in the first game with the little bump sweep, and then in the second game they showed that same look, but then they ran it with Chandler and Gray. So are they setting up something for Georgia? And then also on the defensive side of the ball, I think they were very vanilla last week. And I think, JP, you might have touched on it and said it could have been because they were the way they were game planning for the quarterback that made it 1 or 2 series, whatever it was. It could have been why we saw that. I think you're going to see a lot of blitzing, especially with Schamberger back. I think they're going to bring some heat. But you agree, disagree? You think they're going to just stack the box? It could be very similar game plans on both sides.
All right. I think Pruitt and Ansley are going to have all kinds of stuff dialed up. They are going to try to rattle the quarterback from every direction. They are game planning big time, especially defensively. And I think Chaney has been holding back too. I think, like JP said, I think there's going to be some trickery. Not that like the last couple of years in these big games where that's been our only chance to kind of get ahead of stuff. I think we can hang with them, but I think there's going to be some things to kind of give us an edge and maybe, a shot of momentum, a little jolt on offense. I'm looking forward to it. But that's the thing. If the weather stays, if it's sloppy, I don't know if I'm riding JG to sling it all over the place in a monsoon.
No. I mean, it's going to be scaled down a lot on both sides. Then
Yeah. I'd line up behind that big O line and let Chandler and Gray rip off 8-9 yards at a time in the slop.
Your SEC leading rusher, Ty Chandler. How crazy is that? Which I know we're only 2 games in, but it's still nice to see. I guess you guys heard the press conference where Pruitt, we were singing the praises of that offensive line on Saturday. And so was Vol Twitter and everybody on Facebook.
TVA, they've already named them the TVA.
Yeah, everybody was talking about it. And then all Pruitt says in the press conference was that he named off how many blocks they missed and how they need to finish blocks and that they're giving up yardage.
Yeah.
But it's coach speak. I get it. He did it with the defensive line during camp. He basically said those guys were terrible during camp. And it's motivational. I get it. It is what it is.
It is, but now, I will admit, I went back and watched the Missouri game, and I do focus a lot on the offensive line, and I do worry about Brandon Kennedy. I'll just be honest with you. He gets taken advantage of some. He does, and it does worry me. Georgia's got that big nose tackle. I think he's Jordan Davis. I think big old fast athletic guy. So I think that's something to watch there, because it seemed to be every time that there was any Missouri defender that was in the backfield, it was usually because of Kennedy, whether it was on a pass play or a running play with that. So I just think that that's something obviously to watch there, and hopefully maybe that there was some protection issues there. Maybe the guards were supposed to help him some or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know, but there's all kinds of situations that can come into that. But certainly that there was. We knew that Pruitt wasn't going to come out and say, this is the best offensive line. They're clicking on all cylinders and all that. I mean, there's not any coach that's going to do that. Maybe Butch Jones, he might come out and say that. But, I do think that the offensive line certainly has room to grow. But that's one thing that I'm so interested in is seeing this offensive line Saturday and just seeing how that they do stack up, against probably what is the best defense in the entire nation. At this point in time, I'm not sure that there's any weaknesses that Georgia has, and they are so stacked as far as depth goes that if they do have somebody go out, they have built it up the same way that Saban has at Bama. It's just plug and play. You stick a 5-star in when one of them goes out. But I think this team has motivation, though. I think this football team has it. We keep on reading and hearing these stuff about how this football team has taken on the identity of Pruitt and, just a hard nose and, get after it type of coach. And, Pruitt's even bragged on him, talk about how that he, loves the mentality and the makeup of this team. And it really is impressive because, it's not been too many years ago or really games ago that this team, when they got down, it was over. It was just absolutely over. And, there just wasn't a winning mentality, and that certainly changed. So I don't expect this football team to come out scared, intimidated whatsoever. I think that if they lose Saturday, it'll just be because that, Tennessee still doesn't have the horses to compete with them. That's what I think.
Do you think it's that, or it's more of a depth issue? I think you look at the starters. I think it's pretty even matchup there. I think Georgia has an edge a few spots, but I think depth wise, that's where we are behind in comparison to some of those other teams.
I think Georgia is quite a bit better than us in the secondary, and I think that they're quite a bit better than us on the defensive line. I'll just admit it.
No, defensive line for sure.
I think that secondary, yeah. I'm telling you, that is going to be key. Is can Tennessee's receivers play physical? Because Georgia is going to, those defensive backs, They are going to be right in their face the entire game. They're going to be right up on them at the line of scrimmage, being extremely physical with them right off as soon as the ball is snapped. And, Tennessee's receivers is going to have to give that same intensity, and they're going to have to play that same physical style. And, can they do that? Can Josh Palmer? I think Palmer can. I want to see him do it. But then you do ask yourself, can somebody like a Jalen Hyatt, who is a true freshman, can he play physical in his first ever road game? I don't know if he played at South Carolina or not. I don't even know if he got in maybe special teams. But, can these receivers match that same intensity? Because Georgia's defensive backs are going to bring it. They are going to bring it. There's no doubt in my mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's a lot to unpack. I'm trying to think of where to circle back. Let's just transition with this. We got 75 people watching. Right now.
I could sit around and hash this stuff out. We could sit here for 3 hours tonight.
Maybe we will. If people keep rolling in super chats. If the super chats start flowing, we may stay here all night. I don't know, but we got 75 people watching.
Hey, I'm off tomorrow. We can go all night long.
All night long, like Lionel Richie, baby.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We go live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Saturdays immediately following the games. I saw somebody in the chat asking if we were going to stream during the game. No, we are going to do a tailgate show at 2:30 on Saturday. We'll go about 45 minutes. We're going to do the call-in show where some of the listeners can come on. And then Saturday immediately following the game. So join us for that. But we are glad you are here. Cody Branch says Wayne is a buzzkill tonight. No,
What's up with Wayne? What's he doing?
Wayne wants to bench JG. That's
Come on now, Wayne. You know, buddy. We all have our issues with JG, but he's not. We gotta roll with him. We gotta roll with him.
This team's gonna ride or die on the Arma 2. That's all there is to it. Harrison Bailey this, Harrison Bailey that. Harrison Bailey is not ready. That's all there is to it. Let's go back. Let's go back and talk a little bit about the Missouri game. I guess I don't know. You're talking about the receivers and the defensive backs. I don't know which one I want to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? I think let's talk about the defensive backs because you were kind of going there talking about them. I agree with you. I think Georgia's defensive backs are better. When you on tape, right? We keep talking about how great we keep talking about how great Alontae Taylor is, how great Bryce Thompson is. We're not seeing it. Alontae Taylor is not playing up to the expectations that we have put on him. He plays very physical in the run game. I like the way he comes downhill, but he gets beat a lot too in the passing game, and that's what concerns me. I think obviously, like Dobber mentioned earlier, I think having Schamberger back this week is going to be huge, especially bringing pressure. They love to bring pressure from that star position. I'm just concerned about the safeties. The play of the safeties has not been there. I think that is the weak point of this secondary. But, Dobber, you seem to maybe disagree a little bit. You disagree?
No, I think, like I said earlier, having everybody back, having your guys that are your number ones in the spots that they should be in, I think is going to shore up the back end. And I know, like I said, Pruitt, he's been pretty critical. Actually, after both games about the back end, he's probably been riding those guys because, like I said, that's when he watches game film. I guarantee you he keys in on that because that's his niche. He's a secondary guy. Ainsley's a secondary guy, so those guys are going to push the corners, the safeties. They're going to be prepared and ready to play, and like I said, getting Schamberger back, I think is going to shore up the back end and allow. I think you may have seen Thompson and Taylor trying to compensate a little bit and press a little bit more without Schamberger in there. It's. You look back to early last year when Batuli was out. And I know it's a little bit different with a linebacker, but Schamberger plays an important role in that star position in the secondary. Not having him out there, I think, has left some guys kind of out of position, or I don't know if they're trying to shade the middle or what they're doing, but we got diced by those quick slants and some stuff in the middle that I think probably doesn't happen if he's out there.
I think linebacker play too. You know, you talking about last year and losing Batuli and Batuli being out last year. I think linebacker play is killing this team too. I just don't think that Jeremy Banks is there. I don't think Crouch is playing up again. You know, talking about Taylor, I don't think Crouch is playing up to where we thought he was going to be.
Got to have somebody besides Henry T step up.
Yeah. I mean, there are times that Jeremy Banks looks great, and there are times he looks lost.
I know, but I mean, we're only two games in. I mean,
you started this negative topic.
What did I start negative about? I just said Georgia's has more is better. I just said Georgia is better in the secondary and the defensive line. I mean, that's all I said, and I fully believe that. I mean, they just have better overall talent in those two areas. I'll be honest, I don't know much about their linebackers. I don't know much about them. What you mainly hear about is their secondary. I mean, that's what everybody talks about, and they do have some guys on the defensive line that can get to the quarterback, and that's going to be important. I mean, obviously, you know, Tennessee, I don't think either team is just going to be able to just line up and just run. I mean, you're not going to have where they rush the ball 60 times or whatever. I mean, that's not going to work. I mean, both teams are going to have to pass unless it's just some kind of absolute monsoon downpour. But I mean, Tennessee is going to have to, block these guys coming off the edge. And I keep going back to it with the wide receivers. I mean, Tennessee has got to get physical with them. They have got to match their physicality, and we'll see what happens with that. But, another area of concern for me is when we have a regular tight end in, I've noticed that they have struggled at times with blocking. Warren and Fant both.
Warren,
they're not the best blockers.
When I was rewatching the game, he caused the sack. He completely let somebody come untouched.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't allow that. I mean, obviously, we've given up, I think, two sacks in both games. So we've given up 4 on the year, I believe, so far, and. I don't think anybody's gonna mistake South Carolina and Missouri's defense for Georgia's for sure. So I mean, it's gonna be a whole different level. I mean, it is, but that's what we're expecting because like we've been saying, Tennessee has proven the last 8 games that they can compete and beat the teams that they are supposed to. So now is their first opportunity, let's say in a year, to see. Okay, have we improved over the last 365 days, the last year? Are we back towards getting back towards closer towards what Tennessee where that they want to be? And with that, but I'm looking forward to it.
Jack Vols makes a good point here. Georgia more talented. We have to win the turnover battle and have to win special teams. I think turnovers is probably the biggest key to this game if Tennessee is going to have a chance to truly compete and have a chance to win. I think they're going to have to win the turnover battle. There's no doubt about it. Through 2 games, no turnovers yet. What's that going to look like against that Georgia defense? Is Garantano going to be able to continue to protect the ball? And I think, was it Eric Gray that put the ball on the ground last week? One of the receivers recovered it pretty quick.
And then he fumbled there, and they called it back because they got Missouri for hands to the face or whatever before the pass. But other than that, and Missouri was cooking right in business then because they ran it all the way back to like 20-yard line or whatever. It was still a 7-0 ball game at that point in time. Yeah, I mean, those type of plays like that, if that happens Saturday, it's going to get away quick. It'll get away quick.
Something else we didn't mention, just continuing on the turnovers, was Theo Jackson's interception and just how big it was in that Missouri game last week. Tennessee was up 28-12 at the time, and Missouri's moving right down the field. They were not having any trouble moving the ball, and then Theo Jackson got the big interception. I would almost say they got to have at least a couple of turnovers, and it scares me, you guys in the chat talking about special teams, the way that Cimaglia has been kicking. And I did figure out who holds his kicks. Breaking news right here on Talkin VAWLS. It's Joe Doyle. Because they were talking about on VolQuest, I think it was towards the beginning of the year, talking about how he was going to leave. And they talked him into coming back, and how that was key because he does hold the field goals and extra points for Cimaglia.
Yeah. I figured somebody was going to blame Garantano for that.
We can if you want to. I think Wayne just did in the chat, actually.
Oh, Wayne, he is a JG fan, isn't he?
He loves him. That's what we're going to get Wayne for Christmas. The Jared Garantano jersey.
Yeah.
We need a Talkin VAWLS logo shirt that just says Shelton on the back with the number 2 for JG.
With number 2.
Yeah, maybe a big heart around it.
Hey, there was somebody in the chat that was asking about possibility of Cade playing at right guard and Darnell at tackle. And of course, I know that Tennessee kind of played around with their lineup there, and I think that we'll probably see that probably get smaller and smaller. I think so. Yeah, right there it is. With that, I mean, I like that personally. If Darnell Wright can prove that he can step out there and block those rush ends, I think Cade is by far a more natural guard. I mean, he's just a big old road grader in there, and I think that he could probably help Kennedy too there. So that's certainly something that I would like to see. But obviously, the coaches are there at practice. They see these guys practicing. So, I feel like that they're going to put the best 5 out there and put them in the spots that they feel like that they have the best chance at. So with that, but certainly, I mean, I'm all for that. And I'd say that's what that Tennessee would really like to do. I'd say that's what Pruitt and Friend and them would like if they felt comfortable enough with Darnell Wright.
Be interesting to see how that plays out. I in one of the press conferences, I think it was Kennedy that actually said the guys rotating around helps them build chemistry. Look, what do I know? I'm sitting in my basement talking about Tennessee football, but I would think you would build more chemistry having the same guy beside you week in and week out every day at practice. But Kennedy talked about them building that chemistry by rotating and all working together. I don't know.
Well, guys, and I mean, what Pruitt's said. Pruitt's saying this year is the fact with all the COVID stuff is, they just never know when somebody might test positive and they be out. So I mean, they're going to have to rep those guys because you're going to have to get them in there and get them some experience because you just never know. You just never know if somebody's going to end up testing positive and be out for 2 weeks or whatever. So with that, but I think that if everybody's there Saturday and, I mean, that's another wild card in this. I mean, who knows? And we'll never know until game time probably or right up to it if there is anybody that's having to sit out. But with that, but I think that I think Saturday that we'll probably see, less shuffling in and out, and Tennessee will try to stick with 5 and maybe 6, just depending on the situation or whatever.
Yeah, guys, we got 92 people hanging out watching the show right now while we are live. We are glad that you're here. Help us out. Do us a favor. Do hit that thumbs up. I know it's a bit, and you guys laugh, and everybody says smash that thumbs up, but it does help the analytics of YouTube. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. You can become a member of the channel for as little as 99 cents a month, or if you want to throw a super chat our way, all that good stuff. But how can you help out the show that gives you a little something in return? And you can buy Talkin VAWLS merchandise. We've got the State Pride t-shirt that I've got pulled up here. It's available in the 3/4 sleeve baseball in several different colors. We also have it available in a t-shirt, all that stuff. All these links are in the description. We've got hoodies, or if you want the old cartoon shirt, you can see myself, Dobber, and JP with the bag over his head. That link is also in the description as an Egghead cartoon shirt. Or for you old school fans, we also have just the basic logo merchandise. But again, all the links for merch is in the description. If anything else, we're just glad you're here hanging out, talking UT football with us, and smash that thumbs up. Yeah, Dobber, do you want to mention the hat? Do you have yours with you?
I don't right now. You've got yours right behind you.
If you guys want these, we've not put them out yet. These are Talkin VAWLS special edition hats with the State Pride logo. We're going to be releasing this just for a limited time coming up soon. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I guess, would probably be a good time to do that. So be tuned in and looking for that. Anything else you guys want to touch on from Missouri, or anything previously before we move into predictions all around the SEC this week? Getting fun with it.
No, I mean, I'm full speed ahead. Missouri. I'll leave that up to the coaches to critique them and whatever. I mean, to me, it's been full speed ahead. The Georgia Bulldogs, bring it on, Georgia. We're ready for you. Golly,
Who's this guy? Who's this? I feel like we switched places. I feel like I was so excited.
Right,
you know me. I cannot stand Georgia.
Oh, I can't either. I
would never yell and scream at a 9-year-old kid on the way to Neyland Stadium for a Georgia game because I hate them that much. I would never do something like that. But if I did, it would be to a Georgia fan. It would be to a 9-year-old Georgia fan if I was ever going to do. Not that I would do that, but if I was ever going to do it, it would be a Georgia fan. Probably a 9-year-old Georgia fan.
Well, It's Bama's ego and Vandy's trophy case.
I saw somebody posted that on Twitter. Bama's ego with, I think they said Arkansas's trophy case. Same difference, but it's hilarious. All right, listen, we're going to get into some predictions, but first, last week's winners. Dobber, do you have them for us?
I do. We had a couple that were really tight, and that pushed us to like 6. So I went with the 2 closest.
Okay.
Went with our guy Tim Bradley.
Tim Bradley
almost nailed it.
Tim.
I think he has church on Wednesdays.
Tim had 35 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim and then Joey Inslee, he had 38-13.
Who had the closest pick out of everybody? If I was just curious.
Tim Bradley.
No.
Yeah.
I was 2 points off.
So was Tim.
I thought he said 35 to 10.
Yeah, it was 35-12.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it was 34 to 12. Yeah, well, who won out of us, Dobber?
That'd be you.
So I'm just happy to be here. I want to thank all the fans.
I had 35-17.
I don't even know what score I even picked.
You had 31-20.
All right, guys. So if you won, Dobber will be getting in touch with you, or send us a message on Facebook or Twitter somewhere. Get in touch with us. Get your address to us, and Dobber will get a free sticker sent out to you ASAP.
Wayne's saying he had 31 to 10.
We'll go back and check it. There's no sense to do it on air. We'll check it, and if you did, Wayne, we'll get one sent out to you too. I'll make sure we get on that ASAP. But all right, let's get into some predictions. JP brought up an idea to make this a little bit more fun, so let them know what we're going to do, JP.
We're going to do a weekly SEC pick'em. So we're going to, all of us here are going to pick, not against the spread or anything, just a straight up type deal. Pick the SEC winners for the week. And if the fans, if you all want to get in on it, what we're asking you to do is have your predictions in. Has to be in by 9 a.m. on Saturday morning on the Facebook page. We will post a post out there on the Facebook page with the SEC games, and if you will reply to it with your predictions for each one of them, and we'll tally them up at the end of the regular season. Whoever has the most wins will win a free Talkin VAWLS sweatshirt.
or T-shirt or whatever you want.
Or
you can
T-shirt,
pick whatever you want.
Yeah,
we'll get it sent out to you.
Pick,
so if you're not in the Facebook group, go on to Facebook and just search Talkin VAWLS VAWLS and search under groups, and you have to request access, and we'll get you added. And just look for that post. We'll do it from the Talkin VAWLS account, and we'll just post all the games, and then you guys come in underneath it every week and make those picks, like JP said. So, all right, JP, we're going to make our picks. Is somebody going to write them down?
I got it.
Okay. All right, rattle them off, JP. What do we got?
Let me get my phone back up here.
We got professional.
LSU versus Missouri, and this game has been switched to Missouri, I believe. Vols JP is going with LSU, but that will be a closer game than the 20-point current point spread, I do believe. I believe that Missouri has found them a quarterback.
Yeah, I got LSU as well.
Yeah, these are going to be, well, it's like you said, all of them are going to be the same, but then we're going to get down to some good games and have some fun with it, but I'm going LSU also.
Next one is going to be South Carolina versus Vanderbilt. I mean, I got to go South Carolina on this one.
South Carolina.
South Carolina also. Guys, put your you can put your picks in the chat too if you want to have fun with it.
We're going next. Florida, Texas A&M. Even though I would like to see Texas A&M win this game, if I got to pick them, I got to pick Florida.
Yeah, I'm going Florida also.
Same.
Next game, Arkansas versus Auburn. This is a sneaky one. I'm telling you, that Arkansas team has been impressive. I mean, they really have. I mean, it's been very, very impressive. Auburn is favored by 14. There is no way that I would bet on Auburn to cover that point spread. There is no way. But I feel like Auburn will pull this out. I don't think Arkansas has the horses to win that game, so I will go Auburn.
Going Auburn also. Live free or die, going out on a limb there, taking Arkansas.
I'm gonna roll with the Hogs too.
Oh, he's going old Pig Suey.
A lot of people in the chat are going with Arkansas.
Arkansas. And then we've got Alabama versus Mississippi. I guess maybe instead of picking who wins, we might want to pick how many points that Alabama might score. I mean, I'm telling you what. I mean, that defense of Ole Miss, and like, let's laugh at Kentucky. I mean, how in the world can you not be a Tennessee football podcast and not absolutely laugh your hind end off at Kentucky at setting it 0-2? Absolutely love it. But getting back to the picks, I'm going Bama. As bad as I hate to say it.
Bama, yeah.
I mean, who in the world? And they're only, I mean, they're favored by 24. I mean,
I think Kiffin picked Bama too.
Yeah, I'd say he did. And then finally, besides Tennessee, but we got Mississippi State versus Kentucky. That's an interesting game Saturday. Oh, goodness. I'm going out on a limb here. I think Kentucky loses again and Mississippi State wins. I'm going Mississippi State. I think Kentucky's going to be 0-3 coming in to Neyland Stadium next Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going Mississippi State too.
I'm taking Kentucky.
Okay.
And that just leaves the Tennessee-Georgia game. We ready to pick them?
Yeah, let's get into it. Guys, again, for you to win the free stickers, what you have to do is after we go off the air, give it a few minutes, come back. The comment section will open up. You can play along in the chat right now. That's all good. That's all fun. We appreciate that. But if you want to be entered to win a sticker, come back after the game and put it in the comments. Dobber will check those and let you guys know next Wednesday who won the free stickers. Who went first last week?
I think Dobber did. Yeah.
I think it's my your turn. Yeah, I think it's my turn. Man, goodness gracious. I don't even know what to do because, like I said, kind of repeating myself from earlier. After the game this week, I was excited. I thought Tennessee was going to roll, man. I thought they were going to come out and compete with Georgia and put it to them. I had that orange fire in my eyes, and then I watched the Georgia-Auburn game, and I I guess I just don't know what I'm looking at, because I thought Georgia looked really good in that game. And everybody saying, well, it's just Auburn's not that good. They're not that good. I don't know what you guys are looking at. Georgia's won 3 in a row. They beat the Tar out of Tennessee last year. They open as a 14-point favorite. ESPN's Power Football Index gives them an 88.4% chance to win. So what does that mean on Saturday? I don't know, man. I think that this Tennessee team can compete. I think the increase in talent since Jeremy Pruitt has been there, and not just raw athleticism, but the way they're developing their talent. We're seeing players get better every year. I think they are so close. They are so close to competing, and I'm so ready to go out on a limb and pick Tennessee, but I'm not going to do it. And the reason I'm not going to do it is because I thought about coming on here and making the homer pick and saying Tennessee, blah, 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 giving a big Lee Corso spill, but I think they're close, and I want them to prove me wrong and show me that they are there. But I'm taking Georgia 24, Tennessee 14. And I just pissed everybody off.
You going, JP?
Sure, I'll go. This is Jeremy Pruitt's statement game. Jeremy Pruitt hates Georgia probably more than he hates probably Russia. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, Jeremy Pruitt has the look in his eye. He's got the people's eyebrow. He is going to prove, like Cole Kublik said on Jason Swain show, that he is the best in-game defensive-minded coach in college football. Stetson Bennett was fifth string for a reason, people. Stetson Bennett was the fifth string quarterback for a reason. Jeremy Pruitt is going to bring blitzes from him that he is going to be waking up in the middle of the night for a week, wondering where those blitzes are coming from. I don't know how it's going to happen, but mark it down. Saturday about 7 o'clock, Big Orange Nation is going to be absolutely in pandemonium. Vols go to Athens, and they will rip the absolute heart out of the Georgia Puppies. 24-20. JG becomes an instant legend to the point that Wayne Shelton goes and buys a jersey.
Legend?
Wayne Shelton will go buy a jersey of JG. Vols 24, Georgia Puppies 20. Mark it down.
Let me go ahead and say this. I'm going to clip everything he just said, and if they lose, I'm going to play it right out of the gate on the post-game show.
I should have went. I should have
saved that for last.
I should have let you go last.
I don't lie. I've changed many a prediction when I go last, and everybody else is picking the other team.
To leave us on a good note, because I've got a similar score. I think it is going to be a tight game. I think it is going to come down to we can't get the ball in the end zone. We're going to rely on a couple of kicks. And from what I've seen through 2 games, even with last year and how good Samaglia looked, if it's a sloppy game, No. I've changed my mind. JP got me fired up. JP got me fired up. I was going to go 23-21 Georgia, but I'm changing that. I'm dropping that. I think this defense is going to come out. I think they are going to have a game. I think Garantano comes out and manages. He keeps Tennessee from turning the ball over. Through 3 games, they're still going to have 0 turnovers. I think it is going to be 27-21.
That's a 13-point swing right there, just in a matter of a couple of minutes.
Hey, mark it down.
Mark it down.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Jack Vols says right now, if Tennessee wins, he's going to super chat $20 in the post-game show.
There you go.
Who is with him? Talk about making my night. Tennessee beats Georgia, and we get a bunch of super chats. Wayne Shelton says he's in for $10.
$10.
You guys, I ain't going to forget this. I'm going to write all your names down right now. Right now. Jason Raines wants to know if when he buys a hat, does it come with a jar of JP's moonshine?
I'm not drinking anything. Powerade. There's nothing
that good. Now this just shows you everything you need to know. I got that orange Gatorade.
Yeah,
JP's down there drinking that red stuff. What the heck is wrong with you? All right, I think we're about to wrap this thing up. We appreciate all 92 of you for being here tonight. It's been a fun show. The chat's been great. You guys are awesome. You guys make this show what it is, and I really do mean that. You make it so much fun to come hang out and just – this is the conversation we would be having if we were sitting on JP's back deck. Like, this is the conversation we would have. So it's awesome. But Hopkins Lacrosse fan says, with it being your 100th show, count me in for 50. We're getting rich. Woo! Go Vols. I'm changing my pick.
Come on, Vols.
Wow, look at this. Going to join as a member and give $20. Guys, I'm not going to forget this. I wrote it all down. Yeah, we
got screenshots of all this.
Yeah, we're gonna
John B's in for if Boogie does the truffle shuffle.
That ain't gonna happen. It's gonna take a lot of money for that. It's gonna take a lot of money for that. Hey, now I lost my train of thought for all my plugs I was doing.
Well, let me throw this out there. Tailgate show. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed having some of you guys call in and jump on with a question or comment. So I look forward to that. Want to see everybody try to join us there before the game.
Yeah, we'll drop. All it is a link drops into the chat. You guys just all you got to do is click on it. Make sure you have headphones in, and we'll just do it like a call-in show. You can come on, ask a question, give us a prediction. Whatever you guys want to do is cool with us. And by the way, you can drop super chats now too. You don't have to wait till Saturday. I mean, I'll go ahead and chill a little bit. Super chats start coming in. We'll talk about what kind of chili I make. I don't know. We'll do whatever you guys want. But seriously, we appreciate you guys being here. Like Dobber just said, we are going to do the tailgate show. Don't forget about that. We'll go live at 2:30 and hang out with you guys for 45 minutes. Take you right up to kickoff, give you time to fill up your drink and go get cozy in your recliner. But then also we will be live immediately following the game. I also do want to plug, even though he's not here in the chat doing his job like he should be, the Indie Kid is now full-time on board. You guys wanted our main. You got him. I don't know if you guys saw that video. He's going to do a video series called The Day After. And I like what he said in that video because we come on here right after the game and we are so full of emotion. It's one-time watch, all emotion when we come in here and talk. That's difficult to do. I think Wednesdays are a little bit more dialed down because we've rewatched the game. We've had time to let it sink in. So our main is going to sleep on it, wake up on Sundays, and drop a video for you guys to check out, breaking down the game from the day before. So make sure you don't miss those. Leave him a comment. Tell him how much you love our main. But that's it. I think we're going to wrap this thing up. For Vols JP, for Dobber, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs, how